Hey guys, how's it going? Doing an MMA video because, last week has been one of the craziest weeks in the sports history. Affliction's gone down, mostly due to Josh Barnett and the steroids, but I want to talk about Dana White and his press conference today because a lot of shit's happened. Tried to sign Fedor, but it's not happening, and for once I 100% agree with Dana White and everything that happened, and that doesn't happen often because one minute I completely agree with Dana, and the next minute I think he's the biggest asshole that's ever lived. Mostly with the whole EA game, which, we'll get into that later, but, he tried to make this deal. He gave pretty much Fedor the kitchen sink. Apparently it was a $30 million contract. Fedor could win, would get, not only get his own purse, but he'd get part of the gate. He would be able to wear M1 logos on anything, and he'd be able to do as much Sambo as he wanted. The only thing Dana won't do is co-promote, which is a very smart idea because you've got a business that's booming huge like the UFC, and if you can't co-promote with somebody who's had as little experience as M1, it would just be moronic, or with anybody for that matter at this point. They don't need to co-promote with anybody. Um, you know, and Fedor and Lesnar would be probably one of the biggest gates ever, and you want that for yourself. You don't want to share that with you don't want to share that with anybody else. That's going to be one of the biggest gates ever, and UFC will make huge money off of that. And I completely agree with Dana. Him and Lorenzo Fertitta went into that meeting. They thought they were for certain that deal was going to go down, but it didn't. And I think it's all Fedor's management and M1. They just sound like complete douchebags. And I think Fedor needs to realize eventually that these guys aren't going to get him anywhere. And if this deal's ever going to happen, it's going to be all on Fedor's part and not those assholes at M1 because they're just screwing shit up. But yeah, that's enough of that. I'm disappointed that it's not happening. I'm disappointed that we're not going to see Fedor and Brock. Because I'd put a lot of stuff aside in my life to see that. That sounds like a freaking awesome. That's a freaking awesome fight. But anyways, yeah. Other news is that Tito's back. Tito Ortiz. I'm really happy about that. I'm not a huge Tito fan, but I do enjoy watching him fight. And now that he's had back surgery, he should be some of the best shape he's been in years. And him and Dana have buried the hatchet, and it sounds like he's going to fight Mark Coleman in December. So that should be good. Mark Coleman isn't the toughest challenge. I mean, he's won a little bit, and he's learning a little bit more in his older age. But I think Tito will pretty much dominate him. That's my theory. So that should be good. Vitor Belfort is back, and I'm the most excited about that out of everything because after what he did to Matt Lindland, I was like, holy shit, this guy could, Vitor's back, and I almost freaked out at the thought of him fighting Fedor, even though Fedor might have won. I just wanted to see what those hands could do against Fedor. I remember when I was a kid, 8 years old, watching Vitor Belfort go through Scott Ferozzo and Trey Telligman and Tank Abbott and Vanderlei Silva, how he just dominated those guys, and it was just amazing. And I remember when he fought Tito, how exciting of a fight that was. When he gave Marvin Eastman that nasty ass cut. I mean, he's an exciting fighter, and when he's on top of his game, that's some of the best strikes you're ever gonna see in mixed martial arts. Period. If he can be at the best he's ever been, I guarantee you he's gonna be giving a lot of people hell, and I hope that's Anderson Silva because that would be a fucking awesome fight. I'd pay big money to see that fight. I think he could if he was on top of his game, he would definitely give Anderson Silva a challenge. But yeah, I'm excited about that. Him and Rich Franklin. I predict Belfort by KO. Maybe that's not very realistic, but I'm just hoping in a pipe dream that would happen, like in the first round, within the first minute, a huge KO, like on Matt Lindland. It's possible. Believe me, it's possible. I'm really excited about that. What else? Yeah, that's mostly it. I'm really pumped about that. I'm pumped about Tito. And I'm pumped about the Strikeforce card coming up. I'm excited about Babalu and Musasi. I want to see Musasi in the UFC. After this, I really, really hope that Dana can sign him. I don't know if Dana's going to try and sign Babalu again. I'm not sure. I don't know about the whole history. I know Babalu got fired because he wouldn't let go of a submission, but I'm excited to see that fight. I think Musasi is an incredibly talented fighter, and I think in the next couple of years, he'll probably be in the top 10 pound for pound because he's just on a roll and he's got a good head on him. He's just got, he's just an amazing fighter. And if he can get into the UFC, I don't know what he would fight. He'd probably fight a light heavyweight, but I think he could do some damage on that. And that's pretty much it. Just wanted to talk about that a little bit, and as more news comes in, I'll probably make more videos. I think I'm going to use this mostly as an MMA wrestling video channel. I want to make some more wrestling videos soon. I'm not really as into wrestling right now. I'm just really obsessed with MMA, but when stuff happens in wrestling, I'll talk about it. But yeah. Anyways, talk to you later.